Emotional maturity is extremely important as it relates to personal development. It's equally as important when you're in a relationship. Too many women are finding it difficult to date these days because of the number of guys who operate from a place of selfishness. If you're confused and wondering if a guy is worth your time and energy, this video is for you because I'll be discussing 3 signs of an emotionally immature guy. The first sign of an emotionally immature guy is the guy who's a controller. This guy questions everything that you do, the way you walk, talk, dress, and everything in between. Has the guy you're dating ever told you who you can and cannot talk to, or what you can and cannot wear? If so, you need to end things immediately. Or if you know of someone who's dating an emotionally immature guy, you must encourage them to exit as soon as possible. Control can easily lead to verbal, physical, and emotional abuse. Many women unfortunately stay in controlling relationships because they've invested so much in the other person to where they tell themselves that there's no possible way to get out. They rather live in misery than make the uncomfortable decision to end things. Controlling guys are ones who try to dominate and intimidate you. This often is rooted in insecurities that these immature guys don't want to address. The goal for them is to hurt others because they too are internally damaged. They are often jealous and suspicious of your relationships with other people and try to keep tabs on you at every moment of the day. If you feel as though you're being controlled and manipulated by the guy you're dating, it's time to cut ties because if he's not willing to change, the cycle will repeat itself. The second sign of an emotionally immature guy is someone who does not open up and is unwilling to be vulnerable. Healthy relationships are built on trust, and trust requires a level of transparency and non-sexual intimacy. It will be difficult to sustain a thriving relationship if he's unable or unwilling to open up. This is something that you must pay close attention to and not excuse his behavior. He must be at a level in his life where he's not afraid to freely share and be honest with you about everything from his hopes and dreams to his deepest fears and insecurities. If he only talks about superficial and surface level things at all times, that's a sign of emotional weakness. Relationships are tough enough when the two of you are on the same page, but when he's not capable of opening up to you, it creates gaps in the relationship that will eventually turn into toxic craters. Men oftentimes have a tendency to suppress their emotions and feelings, which may be from childhood trauma. Most of us view the pain as something that we can just get over without communication. Unfortunately, the pent-up emotions are expressed through unhealthy behaviors such as anger, pride, and ego. The man has to be willing to open up no matter what. He can't allow his inner turmoil to dictate whether or not he'll be open and honest to the woman he's in a relationship with. Another sign that a guy is emotionally immature is if he's easily offended. I call this having a spirit of offense. He cannot handle criticism of any kind and often shifts the blame to the other person. Constructive criticism doesn't sit well with him because he feels as if everyone is out to get him. It feels like you have to constantly walk on eggshells around him for fear of upsetting him and catching the wrath of his anger. When you're with an emotionally immature guy, there's no balance or give and take. It often feels like you're exhausted because the two of you can never have a mature conversation without him blowing up. He may become easily offended because he's used to being in control, and when he's confronted by the slightest of things, his anxiety and stress increases. Insecurities may also be the reason he's easily offended, which adds on another layer of complications to the relationship. Again, you must be okay with treading lightly if you would like to be in a relationship such as this. But if this is something that you can't seem to get over as a woman, I encourage you to stop investing your time in this man. There's a lot of deep wounds that may be surfacing in this man when he's being confronted by someone. On occasion, we all become offended. Sometimes it's an appropriate response and sometimes it's not. At the end of the day, the choice is yours whether to entertain a guy such as this. My hope is that you choose wisely. Let's hear from you in the comments below. What do you think are signs of an emotionally immature guy that I've not discussed? Your feedback is greatly appreciated. And as always, feel free to contact me for your free 1-hour breakthrough session at lifecoachjscott@gmail.com. Until next time, be safe and take care.